I'm Brendan Gulick. Welcome to Buckeye Breakdown. Let's talk about the defense for the Buckeyes, because I think, for me, this is the reason, Z, why I think Ohio State's national championship aspirations are suddenly very real. You know, this team offensively in week 2 against Oregon lost when they had 600 yards of offense. Okay, they didn't convert a couple of fourth downs. It was not a problem of moving the football, even with a quarterback who was making his second career start and a true freshman running back. The offense has continued to evolve and look video game good, but the defense is so different right now than it was in the first couple weeks of the season. And I know we've talked about this a few times in recent weeks, but you've got a different scheme with a too high safety look. You've got guys that are way more experienced, certainly, like Tommy Eichenberg. But how about the whole linebacker room in general? And you've got a defensive backs that have seen way more snaps now. You've obviously got a different play caller, even if it's the same coaching staff. You wouldn't even recognize what you saw in week 2 versus what you saw in week 11. For me, the reason why Ohio State could win a national championship this year is because of what we've seen on that side of the ball. I don't know if I fully fledged, really deep in my heart, believe that until after seeing Ohio State eviscerate the Spartans this past weekend. But now I said it in our instant analysis post-game show. I am not banging my hammer on the bully pulpit that the Buckeyes are going to beat Georgia. I am not even remotely scared of Georgia anymore. I think this is a team that absolutely is. First of all, I think they're going to blow out Michigan this week. I don't think the Big Ten title game is going to be that competitive, and I don't really care who the Buckeyes draw in the college football playoff. They got a real shot to win this thing.
I mean, they're playing at a very high level. And Brendan, you started with the linebacker room. We talked about it in the opener. Where was that room, 2 months ago? You had a room where Al Washington's trying to figure out, like, how do I keep Dallas Gant happy? How do I keep Kayvon Pope happy? Yeah. How do I develop Still Chambers? How do I do it? There was a lot going on in that room. And we talked about it on our show. We said sometimes, you gain a lot through attrition. And when Kayvon Pope left and Dallas Gant left, you looked around and you said the Buckeyes only have like 4 scholarship linebackers or 5 scholarship linebackers on the depth chart. You're looking around, who's going to be that guy that steps up? The 2 guys that have stepped up week in and week out are Tommy Eichenberg and Still Chambers. They both have played so much better. And here's when you know those guys have gotten that much better. Michigan State on Saturday tried to go back to the Oregon game plan a little bit. Even though the Buckeyes are playing with a different safety, rotation and the way they're filling runs, they tried to get back into the pin and pull into the boundary that we talked about at the beginning of the year, the 1x3. Michigan State tried to run it 3 times. All 3 times, Michigan State had it blocked up, except for one guy. Still Chambers came through once and made a play. Tommy Eichenberg twice came through and made a play. So now you look back at it and you say, wait a second. That's the difference. That's what the Buckeyes were missing in the Oregon game. Right now, if the Buckeyes do that, now we're talking 1-2. You and I this morning are arguing, well, maybe we're the number 1 team in the country. The way that the Buckeyes beat up on Michigan State is far better than the way Georgia beat up on Charleston Southern. And that's the conversation you're having right now. But because of that one play or that one game on a Saturday, which is great in college football. That's what I love about it, the parity. And the other thing that's great about this playoff, and especially when it expands, is going to get really cool, is now we're talking about a team that maybe, I know you and I woke up that Sunday doing the show and looking and going, ugh. This could be a long season for the Buckeyes. And really, it wasn't as long of a season because why? Because these guys woke up and decided to be the team that they're going to be. And I think when they do that and they play that way, you said you're not afraid of Georgia. This team's not afraid of anybody. I mean, this team could host anybody in the country right now, and they'd be excited. I know they're going to have a big game this weekend. I know they're going to be up for it. I'm excited about it. It's kind of like today's Monday, but I'm like, hey, Saturday at noon, like, where are you? Like, I'm not even like, a person of my stature, you would think like pretty excited about what's going to happen Thursday, smoking the turkey on the Traeger and the sides, I'm not even like looking forward to that right now. Like what I'm looking forward to is Saturday noon, in Little Sister, Ann Arbor, and like getting an opportunity to really watch what is going to be in my lifetime probably the second best Ohio State Michigan game. And I say that because I remember, about probably 15, 20 years ago, they were 1-2.
Sure.
Now we're going to see really, and I think the college football playoff, when it comes out tomorrow, we're going to see both of them in the top four. I think you're going to see this
They're going to jump Cincinnati.
I think they're going to put Michigan at 4. And I think the reason they're going to do that is because now when you have this television, College Game Day is going to be there. This is going to be the noon game. You now put Ohio State 3, Michigan 4, because why? You know that it's going to play itself out in the grandiose scheme of it. If Ohio State were to lose them this weekend, they're not in the college football playoff. Like they're a 2-loss team. They're not going to get in.
Right.
If Michigan loses to them,
same deal.
2-loss, they're out. Cincinnati's there. It just gives you something to talk about for the college football playoff. I think that's where the human element of the college football playoff comes in.